Hello everyone!
Hello everyone!
We are back, and today I have a very special video that I want to take with Mina. Now, today is story time, which means I'm going to share with her some stories from my past. So, Mina, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, okay?
Yay!
Alright. So, we'll start with when I was a little baby. Yes, Mina, where were you born?
Japan.
That's right. And so you and Tato actually were born in Tokyo, Japan. Do you know where Daddy was born?
I think I know.
Where?
Texas.
Oh, good guess. Actually, I was also born in Tokyo. Same place, yeah? It's okay though, because many people think I was born in America. But I was actually born here in Tokyo. My father and mother are both Japanese, right? Omi and Grandpa. And so when I was first a baby, Omi and Grandpa always talked to me in Japanese. Not English, in Japanese. So I was a little baby living in Japan, and I had a sister. What's her name?
Meg.
That's right. And Meg is also, of course, Japanese, and she speaks Japanese well. She is 2 years older than me. I didn't go to daycare.
Because you're 0 still?
That's right. And I stayed at home from 0 to around age 2 or 3. Oh, around age 3. Okay? And when I was age 3, because of Grandpa's job, we had to move.
Where do you move?
Good question. So we moved to Canada. A place called Calgary. Well, Canada is north of America. So if America's here, Canada is up here. Okay?
It's a more up.
That's right. It's more up. And it's a very cold place. Do you know what language they speak in Canada? English.
Oh, that's how you know English?
Exactly. Now, I was around 3 years old. Do you remember when you were 3?
I forgot.
Right. It's difficult to remember things from such an early age. But yeah, when I was 3, I have just some vague recollections. I just have some small, tiny memories of when I was living in Canada. And I remember watching Canadian TV, or even American TV. And there's all these different shows and cartoons that I used to watch. And so I think that's the first time I started to learn English. We only spoke Japanese at home, but we would often go to daycare in Canada, and I made some friends there. Yeah, and apparently one of my first friends in Canada, her name was Jill. Yeah, Jill. So when I lived in Canada, I had a next door neighbor. Okay, it's basically a friend who lived next door to me. His name was Bradley.
Brat?
Bradley, not Brad. Yeah, Bradley. And he was kind of a bad boy. I don't remember much.
That's why it's called Brat?
No, different meaning. Bradley. No, that's no connection. So Bradley was maybe 1 year older than me, and he'd said, "Hey June, let's go on an adventure." And I'm like 4 years old at the time, so I'm like, okay, I don't know anything, right? And so I follow Bradley, and we start walking. And before I know it, I look around and I'm like, Bradley, where are we? And Bradley's like, I don't know. And then we keep walking, and guess what? We're lost. We don't know where we are. We can't find our house. And you know what I start to do?
Cry?
Exactly. I cry because I'm like, am I never going to get to see Omi again? Am I never going to get to see Grandpa or Meg? I was so scared. And Bradley also starts to get scared. And he starts to cry too. And we just keep walking. Now, in our town in Calgary, there is this library. And this library was very special because it was shaped like a pyramid. Yeah, like a big triangle. It's weird, right? Yeah, it's kind of big. And so as we were walking and lost, I look over there and I think, oh, look, there's a pyramid. I know that pyramid. That's the library. And so Bradley and I say, okay, let's go towards that pyramid and we can get some help. So we start walking. And then as we're walking, a car zooms past us. We're scared, right? We're like, uh-oh. And inside is Bradley's mom, who's driving, and Omi is also driving. And they're both so angry, right? They get out of the car, and they're like, where did you two go? We were so worried about you. And Bradley's mom started hitting Bradley. Like, psh! Like, what are you doing? I understand as a parent, you're so scared that your child walks away or is lost, right? Omi just kind of hugs me and she's like, oh, we were so scared. Where did you go? And I'm like, I'm sorry. And so that's when I learned, I cannot go too far from my house. I always need to stay where I can see mommy or daddy, or Omi and grandpa. That was one of my first memories of Canada.
That was so surprising me and scared.
It got you scared? Have you ever been lost? Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you would start walking off in the supermarket and then you start getting scared and running around. And then we had to call you like, Mina. But you're pretty good about not getting lost. Hey, in the future, when we have Tato and 3B, can you kind of make sure they don't get lost? Right? You're the big sister.
I'm going to be so much like a mommy.
Yeah, you're going to have to take care of them. But hey, it's okay. You're still a kid too. So if you need help, you come to mommy and daddy, okay? So I lived in Canada until I was 4 years old. And at the age of 4, Grandpa had another big news. He said to the family, he's like, come here, look, I have another big news. We are moving again.
What?
Yes, we are moving again. And so...
And that moving was Tokyo?
That's right. We moved back to Japan when I was 4. Now, at this time, I'm starting to have more memories, right? So as a 5-year-old, you probably will remember a lot of what we do. But as a 4-year-old, I remember going to the Japanese yochien, or kindergarten. And I remember the teacher saying, oh, welcome to our kindergarten. Most of the kids here are 4, so June, you're going to fit right in. I spoke Japanese at home, so I didn't really have any problem communicating. But after a few weeks of being in Japan, I forgot all of the English that I learned in Canada. All of it. So if someone came up to me and said, hi, June, I would be like, nani? I forgot all of it. So I'm living in Tokyo now, in Nakameguro. I'm with Omi and Grandpa and Meg. And so I have lots of good memories of living in Japan. I get to see my grandparents often. I get to see relatives. And I'm making a couple of friends.
Who's relative?
Relative means cousin, uncle, aunt, all of those family members who don't live with us. And so I made a lot of friends. And eventually I became a shōgakusei. Do you know what a shōgakusei is?
If you was a 4 and you turn to 6, you're going to go to Shogaku, right?
Exactly. You'll be going to shōgakko soon too. I can't believe it. Wow.
I'm already 5.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I'm going.
Wow. Are you excited? Well, we bought your randoseru recently, so I think you're ready, huh?
Yes.
So yeah, just like that, I also had a randoseru and I started going to shōgakko too.
What kind of randoseru was your color?
Black. Yeah. I don't think back then we had all these different colors. We just had like black and red.
Do you think I'm the only kid who have that flower randoseru?
Maybe.
I'm the only kid.
Maybe. Do you want to be special like that? Yeah. I think that was a very nice randoseru you chose. So, when I entered first grade, I was such a short kid.
What? You was shorter than everyone?
That's right. I was the shortest in the class.
Like this much?
Yes, like this much. I was the shortest in the class. And so when all the kids line up, usually the shortest kid stands in the front. Right? And so that was me. How about in your daycare? Which size are you? Are you small, medium, large?
Middle.
Middle? Okay. Well, I was the smallest. Still, I loved shōgakko. I made lots of friends. I started to learn hiragana and katakana and some kanji.
That's how you can write?
That's right. And so when I turned 7, Grandpa had another meeting with the family. He said, come here, guys. I have another important announcement. We are moving again. Yes. So by this time, we're all very used to moving. I'm sure it was difficult for Omi, but where did we move to next?
I don't know.
We moved to New York.
Oh, I forgot about that.
New York. Now, New York was such an awesome place. We have so many good memories from New York. I lived there from when I was age 7 to age 11, so only 4 years.
Daddy said that New York was a great place that I want to go to.
And I really want to take you there. So hopefully we can take some time off and visit my old house. We lived in New York, but not in Manhattan, not in the big cities. We lived kind of about...
I know Manhattan.
You know Manhattan?
Manhattan is like so much a big city, right?
Mhm.
And so many people to come, right?
That's right. That's right. So we didn't live in Manhattan, but we lived kind of close. And our house was huge, and it had this big yard. This big yard. And the first memory of living in New York, I go outside, and there's a big tree. And I'm like, oh, what a nice yard. I can play on this yard and climb these trees. And suddenly I see something moving. And I'm like, what was that? Was it a monster? No. It was a squirrel. Cute little squirrel with this big fluffy tail. And I'm like, this is amazing. There are squirrels just running around. Have you ever seen a squirrel outside?
No.
Not in Japan, right?
But my school marker is squirrel.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So same, huh? And because I was really jet lagged, do you know what jet lag means? Jet lag means you're really sleepy because you've been flying on the plane for a long time. And so I was sleepy, and then suddenly I woke up, and it's the middle of the night. And I remember walking downstairs, opening the curtain, and just looking outside. And guess what I see?
What?
A deer.
Deer?
Yeah, just right outside my house. It was crazy. I was like, what is this big giant thing doing out in my yard? And that was my first memory of living in New York. It's just like all these different animals there. It was just very different from Japan. That's what I remember. So I start going to school, elementary school in New York. And on my very first day I go there, I cannot speak any English. Like I said, I forgot all of the English that I learned in Canada while living in Japan. I remember being very scared, right? Because I can't speak any English. All I know is Japanese. And one of my first memories is what my classmate is helping me. Okay? And she's showing me things around the school. And my classmate says, oh, okay, here, come here, June. Let me show you. And she kept saying, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. And in my head, since I forgot English, I'm like, shoyu? Shoyu? You know shoyu is soy sauce? That's all I remember thinking. It's like, why is she talking about shoyu all the time? She must really love shoyu. Of course, I started to learn eventually that was English. It means shoyu. And interestingly, after 1 or 2 weeks, I don't remember being scared anymore. Because I learned English really, really quickly. Yeah, just from being around English classmates and watching English TV. And so we spent the next 4 years in New York, and let me just say they were some of the best years of my life, right? I had so many good memories there. I went to summer camp. I wore tie-dyed t-shirts. I'll show you those later. They're really cool. I ate a lot of American food. We'd visit Manhattan. We'd do the Thanksgiving parade. We'd go ice skating in front of Rockefeller Center. Just so many good memories. Okay? But when I was 11, Grandpa brought us together for another meeting.
It was going on another plane?
Yes. Yes. He said, listen, guys, we're moving again. Where do you think we moved? Texas.
Texas!
That's right. Houston, Texas. And so for the next 20 plus years, I lived in Texas. And so I'll tell you about that in another video. So we'll stop here for today. But yeah, that's me. That's how I became a bilingual, because I kept going from a Japanese environment to an English environment, from home to outside. And so it really helped me learn both languages.
Me too, I know.
Yeah. And I don't know if we'll ever live in America, but I want you to be able to experience other cultures, because all you know is Japan, right? But America is very different. Other countries like China, Australia, the UK, Brazil, all of these different countries, they all have very different cultures. And so one of these days I want to travel with you, and I want to show you all of these different cultures. Okay? So as always, if you have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comments. And Mina, thank you very much for sitting through these stories with me. Bye!
Bye-bye!
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you
Next time!